Welcome to the Charlie Stubbs Show, featuring the head coach of the Nicholls State University football team, Charlie Stubbs. Today's program is presented by State Farm. Contact your local State Farm agent today and get to a better state. The Charlie Stubbs Show is also sponsored by Rouse's Supermarkets. You're either local or you're not. And by People's Health, your Medicare health team. Good afternoon and welcome to the Charlie Stubbs Show presented by State Farm. I'm your host, Mike Wagenheim. The Nicholls Colonels entered last Saturday's matchup at Sam Houston State, an immense underdog. The Bearcats, ranked number 6 in the nation, were on an FCS best 20-game home win streak, while the Colonels, missing more and more key players due to injury, were trying to scrape by through sheer force of will. And while the Red and Gray showed no signs of quit, they were simply outgunned in Huntsville. We are joined here by the head coach of the Nicholls football program, Charlie Stubbs. And gosh, when you're going up against a two-time national runner-up such as Sam Houston State, you have to have everything at your disposal, and the Colonels simply did not on Saturday.
Yeah, we're a little physically beat down right now this time of the year, but again, very optimistic. They're playing hard, and there was some examples of that in the game, and executing at the last phase of the game too. The last quarter played very well. Biggest thing too, it was amazing when I was going out for right prior to the game and taking my guys out. They were having their senior day, and they had were announcing guys, this guy's first team All-American, first team this, first team that. I mean, we are going against a veteran squad all the way, and at some positions we are playing with true freshmen, but I did like the battle and the fight that we showed.
Man, that senior class for Sam Houston, the winningest senior class in school history. What are some of the bright spots you can take out of the game?
Well, I felt like, again, lately we've been opening the games pretty solidly. I'm talking about the offense gets the ball driving down. We drove down the field on them. We sputtered at the end, but we drove better than many people have against them and got the lead in the game, kicking a field goal. So, that's always good to have a positive start. But the things that I saw were the fight in our guys. We tried a few onside kicks during the game, again, trying to send a message to our guys that we came there to win, not just get a moral victory or anything like that. But the thing I liked the most is that when we went there in the fourth quarter in particular, we had some defensive stops. We kind of fed off each other, all three phases. We, in that phase or that quarter, again, had some stops. Also, special teams made some plays. We recovered an onside kick. We also got on defense a takeaway. And then we also, 3 times offensively, drove the ball down the field and scored touchdowns. We even were throwing the ball and executing our 2-minute offense some. And I know Bo Abear completed 15 out of 16 passes, and 2 touchdowns. And I really know as a coach, you couldn't execute all those things if you kind of given up. And so we didn't give up because that's hard to do. It's hard to complete 15 out of 16 passes no matter who you're playing. So again, we did have something good to build on at the end of the game.
Well, let's take you to Elliott T. Bowers Stadium in Huntsville, Texas. A cool, crisp autumn afternoon. The Colonels looking for their first win over Sam Houston since 2005. The Cats were trying to keep pace in the Southland Conference title race. Unfortunately, the hits just keep on coming for the Colonels. 5 plays in, Toscani Figueroa rolling out, looking for Dalton Hilliard down the sideline. A questionable blow here, and Hilliard stays down. Dalton had done such a remarkable job filling in for the seemingly irreplaceable Marcus Washington, who himself was lost for the year to an injury a month ago. Here, Hilliard sustains a broken arm. His career now is over as well. And a very irate head coach Charlie Stubbs on the sideline talking to the officials about a lack of a penalty there. On the very next play, Figueroa dashing here for 12 yards. He ran for 62 yards on this opening drive alone. It stalled out, though, in the red zone after 10 plays. So Andrew Dolan, who has really regained his old form over the last few weeks, boots a 37-yard field goal, and Nicholls out in front, 3-0. Andrew has really come on strong here toward the end of the year. We knew coming in that Nicholls was going to have to take some chances to win this thing. It doesn't take long before they roll the dice, an onside kick here, but the Cats' Tristan Eshe is there to fall on it, and that gives the nation's 4th highest scoring team some good field position coming up here. In 6 plays, they wind up going 47 yards. Keyshawn Hill able to get to the outside and slip through for the score. His 5th rushing touchdown of the year. Sam Houston up 7-3. The Cats ran for 284 yards, very much by committee. Nichols was forced to punt. Sam Houston gets it back, but on 3rd and 9 from their 39, Brian Bell's pass batted down by Chris Bermond. Nichols holding their own early. At the end of the first quarter, it's still 7-3. This game still very much a contest after the first 15 minutes. Unfortunately, it didn't stay that way. On the first play of the second quarter, Sam Houston running out of their Wildcat formation. Receiver Richard Sincere takes the snap and sprints 32 yards for the score. The 2-time All-Southland honoree with his 4th TD of the year. It's 14-3. Sam Houston with the advantage. After Nichols goes 3 and out, Sam Houston puts together a 4-play, 60-yard drive. Here it's Bell on the option. He keeps it and goes 45 yards. One of the top passers in the nation there, getting it done with his feet. And now Nichols has to spend the rest of the day playing catch-up. Their next drive, 2nd and 1 at the Nichols 27. It's Figaro going for 24 yards down the sideline. Toscani rushed for 117 yards on 18 carries. He's now the Southland's leading rusher and is just 12 yards away from the 1,000-yard mark this year. The Colonels get into the red zone again. 1st and 10 at the 16. Figaro looking to run. The ball, though, is jarred loose. Jesse Beauchamp saves it from going out of bounds before Michael Wade secures it for Sam Houston. Nichols with 412 yards of offense, but struggled to maximize on their opportunities. Kalen Henderson was intercepted on the final play of the half on a deep ball, and the Colonels go into halftime 21-3. Again, as you mentioned, plenty of offense, 412 yards. That's a whole lot of offense against a team like Sam Houston, but the key is finishing drives.
You're exactly right. I felt like, had we finished that one in the red zone, making it 21-10 at halftime, that would have been at least something to build on there. And then, of course, the turnover at the end of the half was just a message that I refuse to just take a knee or anything like that. We're trying to make something happen.
And that's exactly the message that Coach Stubbs would convey in the locker room at halftime. The mood was still positive. Coach Stubbs stressing it's a matter of finishing.
Again, you guys know we can move the football on these guys. We've got to learn to finish. Take care of that ball. I understand that last turnover, we're trying to make a play down the field, trying to take a shot. But after that, though, we got to play clean. They get the ball right off. The defense is going to stop them again. We get the ball. Let's get ourselves back in the game. We got some guys playing that haven't played much and playing well. Just keep it going. This is your coach. Believe in what you've been coached to do.
Again, Nichols playing to win here. They take a chance with an onside kick to begin the half. Looked like they might have had a shot at this one, but it was blown dead. Sam Houston at the last moment called a timeout. Even so, Nichols goes for it again. Why not? This time, though, the kick is not where they want it. Deion Hutchinson is there for the Bearcats. Nichols had to take some chances. Unfortunately, they just didn't work out. 1st and goal at the 1. Keyshawn Hill with his 2nd score of the contest, 28-3. The Bearcats intent on putting a lid on any hopes of a Colonel comeback, and they would wind up doing it here. Kalen Henderson, his pass deflected and intercepted by Michael Wade, a 48-yard return to pay dirt. Wade's 2nd pick of the year. 35-3 now with about 11 minutes left in the 3rd, and it just didn't get easier from here. Sam Houston got good field position coming up after a punt. Opening play of that drive, Brian Bell to Torrance Williams, who cuts clear across the field after the catch. The speedster, who leads the nation as a punt returner, goes 56 yards here. The Bearcats score 3 touchdowns in 6 minutes and 17 seconds. They are up 42-3. Late in the 3rd, a 10-play, 85-yard drive culminates with a 10-yard touchdown run by reserve quarterback Don King. Nichols goes into the 4th down 49-3, looking for something positive to take from this game. And they would get it. 3rd and 9 at the Bearcats 32. Figaro spotting Reggie Wilson for the 29-yard gain. It sure looks like he gets into the end zone, but they rule him out at the 3. Wilson moving up on the depth chart at running back due to injuries. He had 77 yards of offense in this one. That play set up big Michael Henry. He punches it in from the 2. Henry's 1st touchdown as a Colonel. Nice 12-play, 75-yard drive by Nichols to make it 49-10. Bo Hebert coming into quarterback here for the Colonels. Been beset by injuries, but he does an outstanding job here, going 15 for 16 for 148 yards. Good toss on the run here to Darrell Watson for a gain of 13. Nichols turned it over on downs, but they forced a turnover and got it back. 2nd and 1 from the Sam Houston 46. Nice play action. Hebert gets drilled as he throws it, but hits Xavier Marcus in stride for the score. Second touchdown reception of the year for Marcus. That makes it 49-17 with a couple of minutes left. Nichols, why not? They go for the onside kick again. Nicely done here. Dwayne Mitchell falls on it, and Nichols would get one final opportunity with the football. Play number 6 of the drive. Hebert here finding Dylan Leday in the back of the end zone. He had all the time in the world here. Just the second catch of the year for Leday, his first touchdown. Nichols never quit. Sam Houston, though, just too much. 49-24 is your final score. But, Coach, at least heading back on the drive to Thibodaux, some positives to build on heading into these final 2 weeks.
Yeah, you have to look for it now. And again, I feel like there is something to build on. There's a lot of corrections. There's a lot of things that are just catching up with us right now. We played 10 physical football teams, and and right now it's the thing you hope as a coach you could avoid, because we're just really a shell of the team we once were. I mean, when you really go back. But you can't really think of that as a coach and players. You got to move forward. We got 2 great opportunities remaining, and I feel like we still have enough in this locker room to get the job done.
At least over the last few weeks, Coach, there seems to be about a 4 to 5 minute window. Pick a point in the game, 4 or 5 minutes, where the other team just piles on those points, and it seems to get out of hand. And that's been the Colonel's killer over these last few weeks, that just little 4 or 5 minute window.
You're exactly right. I think back at the conference game that we won, the Northwestern game, we were at pretty much full strength. We had Marcus Washington, Davin Bovey, all the different guys that, when Davin, we lost him, he was the leading of the conference in tackles, and then it's kind of just a little bit chipped away at us. But yes, if we can avoid that, then we can keep that point differential really close, and then we can beat them in the fourth quarter.
You'll have another shot coming up against Central Arkansas on Saturday, the final home game of the season. Our coverage begins 3.5 hours prior to kickoff on the Colonel Sports Radio Network, presented by your local Super Chevy dealers at 11:30. KNSU 91.5 FM brings you the Colonel pregame pass. Then at 12:30, LA 106.3 Rock Hits Radio airs the Colonel Insider. They'll also carry the game live at 2:30. It's a Colonel Countdown on our flagship station, KLRZ 100.3 FM in New Orleans and the Tri-Parishes. Their sister station, KLEB 1600 AM, broadcast to South Lafourche and Grand Isle. They'll also begin their coverage at 2:30. Both stations will carry the game live as well. Also, fans who can't make it to John L. Guidry Stadium can watch a live web stream on Colonel's All Access. You can head to GoColonels.com to register. We'll talk about that Central Arkansas game and much more when we come back on the Charlie Stubbs Show, presented by State Farm, in a moment.
And this will be your premium right here.
Sorry to interrupt. I just want to say I combined home and auto with State Farm.
Saved $760.
Love this guy.
Okay, does it bother anybody else that the mime is talking? Freaky.
Bundle home and auto, and you could save $760.
That's 760 very good reasons to contact your local State Farm agent.
Donnie, I'm in Rouse's at least 3 times a week, and I want the best prices every day.
Come on, Chef. Let's go shopping.
All right. There's got to be at least 1,000 items just on this one aisle.
At Rouse's, we stock more groceries than anyone else.
I can see that. So what's with the tag? Best price every day.
It's the Rouse's guarantee. You're getting our lowest price every day.
So when I see this tag,
you know you don't have to wait for a sale.
I can shop any day
and get our best price every day. Rouse's, you're either local or you're not.
Well, we're all about the people that we care for. Every day we find a way to make your life better. That's what we're here for. Yeah, we're all about the people. We help you take care of yourself. That's what we do. We're here for you with people's health.
We welcome you back to the Charlie Stubbs Show, presented by State Farm. Nichols fell to Sam Houston State last Saturday, keeping the Bearcats in the Southland Conference title picture. Elsewhere around the league last Saturday, 16th-ranked Southeastern Louisiana ran its win streak to 7 straight. The Lions stayed perfect in Southland play at 5-0 with a decisive victory at number 24 Central Arkansas. McNeese State improved to 4-1 with a victory at Stephen F. Austin. Deontay Spencer with a record-setting night for the Cowboys. 365 all-purpose yards, highlighted by 2 kickoff returns for touchdowns and a punt return for a TD. He also caught 7 passes for 152 yards and 2 scores. Northwestern State won its second consecutive league game with a triumph over Lamar in Natchitoches. In games involving future Southland members, Incarnate Word beat Abilene Christian for its first victory over the Wildcats. Houston Baptist finished its inaugural football season with a 3-4 record after falling to Texas A&M Commerce on homecoming. So here's how it looks with 2 weeks left. Southeastern moving up to number 14 in the Sports Network Top 25 poll. They'll face off against now number 4 Sam Houston in Hammond this Saturday. The Lions will clinch at least a share of the league title with a victory. The Bearcats would still have a shot at the crown if they win. McNeese up to number 9 in the rankings. They'll host Northwestern State. The Cowboys still very much in the championship hunt. The Demons, though, are coming on strong. Sam Houston, or rather Stephen F. Austin, visiting Lamar this weekend. The Cardinals still with a chance to finish at 500 overall. And, of course, Nichols hosts Central Arkansas. The Colonels also with a chance still to finish up at 500. The Bears, who are still receiving votes in the polls, have lost 2 straight games for the first time all year. Like Nichols, they've struggled to stay healthy. 7 players for them out with season-ending injuries. And head coach Charlie Stubbs, I don't think there's any sympathy on either side of the football coming up on Saturday.
No, you're exactly right. You got to play with what you got. And we've got some good kids, and they're working hard, and we're having to play some young guys. I was hoping to minimize that this year, you know, where we could bring them along at the right pace. But no, we've still got our true freshmen out there now, and they're learning on the run.
While the Colonels head into these final 2 games shorthanded, all the bumps and bruises that Nichols has sustained this year still has had an upside. It's helped the team start building toward 2014. Amanda Kelly has more.
After suffering numerous devastating injuries over the last month, the Colonels have lost several key players in its lineup. But with their downfall brings some new blood ready to rise to the occasion and get the team back on track. It was unexpected that so many freshmen would be playing, let alone starting games, with the veteran-laden team the Colonels had returning this year.
I was expecting to compete, and if I got the job, then I got the job. And then if not, I was just going to work harder throughout the season and the offseason.
That hard work gave the Colonels' young guns a certain level of readiness, but it's been the upperclassmen that have showed them the ropes of college football and make their transition smooth.
Just basically just learning everything I can from them, and they've been really helpful in my process and coming from upcoming freshmen to now playing in the mix on the team.
There is nothing that can replicate game experience. While the team has struggled over the last few weeks without many of its stars, the bright side is that all the playing time these freshmen are receiving will prove beneficial for the development of the team.
I definitely think it's a hands-on thing, getting in there and just understanding what actually goes on across from you and getting a closer look at everything that's going on around you. So it definitely helped me to actually get in there and learn it from a first-hand experience instead of just watching.
While the Colonels will honor their seniors prior to the game on Saturday, we'll get a better look at the future of Nichols football over this final week and a half. These players were told since fall camp they needed to be ready when their number was called. Their time has come, and they've risen to the challenge. For the Charlie Stubbs Show, I'm Amanda Kelly.
Hi, my name is Chuck Epela, recruiting coordinator at Nichols State University. We'd like to give you some recruiting tips that can help you in your recruiting process. Our recruiting tip for today is about official visits. What is an official visit, and what are the requirements needed for an official visit? What is an official visit? An official visit is an on-campus visit by a student athlete where all the expenses are paid for by the university. There are 4 requirements needed prior to taking an official visit. First, the student athlete must provide a transcript to the visiting institution. Secondly, the student athlete must provide a test score that was taken on a national testing date. Thirdly, the student athlete must be placed on the institution's IRL, which stands for Institutional Request List. And lastly, they must be registered with the NCAA Eligibility Center. Hopefully, these recruiting tips can help you in your recruiting process.
Thank you very much, Coach Hepela. Folks, there are plenty of ways to keep up to the minute with Nichols Athletics. You can find our new page at Instagram.com/KolonelSports. We're at YouTube.com/Nichols Athletics, Facebook.com/GoKolonels, and Twitter.com/KolonelSports. We chat here with the head coach of the Nichols football team, Charlie Stubbs. Senior Day coming up on Saturday, final day for 23 of your seniors, and this is your class. You've been here 4 years, and so have they. What's it been like with this class?
Well, I'm so pleased with these young men. 23 of them, they're all on track to graduate. They really stuck with it, through thick and thin. It's really easy. Football kind of mirrors life a little bit. You're going to have your ups and downs, but they persevered. Some of them played way before we thought. I think back at like Segan, Virginal, and Jordan Hanberry, and just others, Marcus, all played as freshmen. And again, like I say, some of them are graduating real soon and never took a redshirt year. We needed them every year to play. So again, it's a special group, and I know that they've shown very good leadership this year. We made progress. Sure, I wish we won some more games, and hopefully we'll finish it off strong like we're capable of.
I think everybody that's watched this program over the last few years, especially to this year, has seen that developments are being made, and it's taken some time, but you're on the right path right now. I was talking to Segan last night, and he's proud that he could lay the foundation for better things to come. I think that's the general consensus amongst the senior class.
Yeah, that's what I feel like as a head coach and the coaching staff is, there were certain things we had to build for this program to really get going, and I feel like over the time we have built a very firm foundation, and now I expect things to really progress.
I think we do as well. Coach, we're going to be back with you in a moment. This is the Charlie Stubbs Show presented by State Farm.
And this will be your premium right here.
Sorry to interrupt. I just want to say I combined home and auto with State Farm. Saved $760. Love this guy.
Okay, does it bother anybody else that the mime is talking? Freaky.
Bundle home and auto, and you could save $760.
That's 760 very good reasons to contact your local State Farm agent.
Donnie, I'm in Rouse's at least 3 times a week, and I want the best prices every day.
Come on, Chef. Let's go shopping.
All right. There's got to be at least 1,000 items just on this one aisle.
At Rouse's, we stock more groceries than anyone else.
I can see that. So what's with the tag? Best price every day.
It's the Rouse's guarantee. You're getting our lowest price every day.
So when I see this tag,
you know you don't have to wait for a sale.
I can shop any day
and get our best price every day. Rouse's, you're either local or you're not.
Well, we're all about the people that we care for. Every day we find a way to make your life better. That's what we're here for. Yeah, we're all about the people. We help you take care of yourself. That's what we do. We're here for you with people's health.
I want to welcome you back to the Charlie Stubbs Show presented by State Farm. More with head coach Charlie Stubbs in just a moment. It's time to announce our Rouse's Student Athlete of the Week. You're either local or you're not. Louisiana's Best can be found at your local Rouse's or at rouses.com. This week, it's sophomore guard Imani White. The New Orleans native scored a career-high 33 points to lead the Colonels to a 91-58 win over Suno last Friday in their season opener. White went 8 of 15 from the field, including a 6 of 9 mark from three-point range. Let's take a look at what's going on around Nichols Athletics this weekend. The men's basketball team plays at North Texas tonight. KLRZ 100.3 FM carries the game live. The women's hoopsters are at Baylor. KNSU 91.5 FM broadcasts that contest. Then on Saturday, it's senior day for the volleyball team. They finish out the year against McNeese State at 7 o'clock following the football game. You can watch the volleyball match on our Colonels All Access web stream platform. Colonels All Access can be found on our official website, GoKolonels.com. That's G-E-A-U-X, GoKolonels.com. We have rosters, statistics, game recaps, everything you need to follow not only the Nichols football team, but all 14 of our athletic programs here at Nichols State University Athletics. Check it out every day. There's always new information up at GoKolonels.com. That's G-E-A-U-X, GoColonels.com. Chatting here with the head coach of the Nichols football team, Charlie Stubbs. You'll host Central Arkansas this Saturday and then play at Southeastern Louisiana the following Thursday to close out the regular season. What are the main goals here, other than winning, of course, which is always a goal, but what are you looking for specifically out of these last 2 games?
Well, the biggest thing is just finish strong. That's the big motto right now. And I feel like I know when the players get together and we break at the end of the practice, they're even saying now, this is all we got. You know what I mean? And I tell them, we have enough. We have enough to get the job done. We have enough to secure victories these last 2 games. We got to play very well, and we realize that. But again, I look back at Central Arkansas last year. They won the conference last year, and we were leading them at halftime at their place. And as you alluded to earlier today, about that 5 minutes within a game seems to get away from us. If we can stay away from those 2 things happening in this game coming up, on Saturday, then we'll be in a great position to win the football game.
You're down to your 3rd-string running back right now, so Reggie Wilson stepping up, but we saw Michael Henry play well. That is a guy, we're talking about Michael Henry, who earned his stripes on special teams, worked his way into the lineup. Seems like every guy now on the team trying to work their way in, and it creates just a better competition.
Yeah, Michael, unfortunately, was injured with a knee injury in the summer, and he missed the first 4 games, too, so he's had to work his way back up. But as with the injuries, you sure don't want them to happen, but it sure gives us a clear evaluation of all of our young players, what they're like, how they're going to react in games, and see them develop. So even though it was a minus with the injuries, it kind of ends up being a plus in other areas, especially for the future.
Talk about a guy, and it's still an amazing story. Toscani Figueroa wasn't supposed to play at all this year. Didn't play for the first game and a half. It was only because you lost 2 quarterbacks in 5 periods, basically, that he had to come on and play this season. He's close to rushing for 1,000 yards, and he's leading the league in rushing. Just an amazing story.
Well, we've designed some quarterback runs for him. He is exceptional. He's getting a lot better in the passing game, too. He's becoming more of a complete quarterback, so I'm excited about him. Sometimes in these past few games, when I'm a little thin at running back, he's having to run the ball a little bit more than what I'd really like. But again, it's what we have to do right now. So periodically, I've got other capable quarterbacks that can go in and do their job, as I spell Toscani a little bit.
We look at toward next year. I don't want to jump too far ahead, but you'll go into the fall, or the spring rather, with Landry Klon, Bo Hebert, Toscani Figueroa, and Kalen Henderson, 4 quarterbacks who all have significant starting experience. That's just going to create a great competition.
That's exactly. It brings out the best in every one of us.
Absolutely. Coach, thanks so much. We're going to talk to you again next Thursday prior to the Southeastern Louisiana game. That's going to do it for our program today. You've been watching the Charlie Stubbs Show presented by State Farm. Don't forget, home finale Saturday afternoon, 3 o'clock. Nichols hosting Central Arkansas. Our Senior Day ceremonies will begin at 2:30. As Coach Stubbs mentioned, those guys have stuck with it through thick and thin. Come on out, support them if you're around the area. 2:30 for Senior Day ceremonies. We honor our 23 departing seniors, and then a 3 o'clock kickoff, your final chance to catch the Colonels in action here in Thibodaux this season as they will host Central Arkansas. For Amanda Kelly, Eric Solberg, Zachary Carlton, and the crew, I'm Mike Wagenheim. Thanks again for joining us. The Charlie Stubbs Show has been presented by State Farm. Contact your local State Farm agent today and get to a better state. This show has also been sponsored by Rouse's Supermarkets. You're either local or you're not. And by People's Health, your Medicare health team. This has been a presentation of the Colonel Sports Network.